friends, it's Jessica with ABC Paints. This week I have a flower pot. This plant has been in this pot for a few years now, and I don't like the outside of it. And so I'm going to take the American Paint Company's Plaster, the home plate and the Candlestick Plaster, and I'm going to apply it to the outside of this pot, and I'm going to see what kind of finish I can come up with. Okay, this project should be quite fun with the plant actually still in it. Might be a little bit awkward, but we're gonna give it a whirl. I like to apply the plaster with a plastic fork. It's nothing fancy, guys. I just like using a fork. You can use a putty knife or any of that sort of stuff. And I'm actually just gonna start wiping it all over the surface. I want to have lots of texture on here. So I'm not going to be thinking about making it like a perfect smooth finish. I'm just gonna get it all over the outside of this pot. Now, this is a slippery pot, so if it does kind of slip and slide, that's okay. We'll just keep layering it to get like a nice texture. I'm super excited to see how this is going to turn out. Instead of running to the store and getting, you know, a new pot for the season, why not shop your home? I have this plant. It's usually, it's not in a spot where a lot of people see the bottom of it, so it hasn't really bothered me, but I put it in a spot where I wouldn't notice the pot. But now it might have to get a promotion. Oops. It might have to get a promotion once this is done and move to a high traffic area. So I love using ABC Plaster. I use it for all sorts of things. Any flat surface, you can add a lot of texture with plaster. You can use it on a stencil. You can use it with rollers. You can paint with it. You can do art with it on canvas. There's many purposes that you can use the plaster with. And I don't know if you're familiar with plasters, but before American Paint Company came out with their own plaster, I actually tried several different companies. A lot of the other plasters that I tried were very, very strong smelling. And I'm sensitive to smells, so that's another reason why I love using APC, because there is no smell. And I love that with all of their products, they don't give me headaches, and they get the same look that other products would give, but the eco version, which is amazing. And especially if you do have sensitivities, or if you've got kids in the home, or pets, or you know, you're wanting to live in an environment that has less toxins, like, yeah, it's a pretty awesome option that you can create with this product. And there's no smell. Another project that I did with the plaster on a glass vase. Oh man, a while back, and I love it. So I just took like a glass vase. You can pick them up at the the dollar store too. The thrift store has them super cheap too. And apply the plaster to the outside. And on that one, I also used some of the metallics as well on it. I just wanted to show you the other pot that I had done using the plaster and some paint and some metallics on here. I just love how this guy looks. So while this pot is drying, I'm going to keep creating. And I got this candlestick from Value Village for $5. And so I'm going to take just some American Paint Company's Freedom Road, and I'm just going to cover this surface. It's going to be kind of fun painting these. I saw it, I like to look for unique things, unique finds, different visual, I don't know, the swirlies got me on this one. And then I'll go and see if I can find a nice pillar candle to put on it. And I don't know if I'm just gonna leave him gray or if I will add some black glaze to it just to darken it a bit. I'm not too sure, so I'll just go by feeling again. You know, where you hold it back and you look at it and you walk away, and then you come back and you look at it again. Do you do that? That's the kind of painter I am. I look at it, needs more of this, needs more of that. Creator. That's the kind of creator I am. I like doing fun little projects like flower pots and candlesticks because they don't take long, but they give you some therapy, and they also add to your home. And so I'm also curious if your front door is painted, and has it been the same color for many years, or do you change that front door color? American Paint Company does work on the front door, so keep that in mind. You just want to seal it with the hard coat sealer, which comes in a blue bottle. It comes in a 16 ounce or an 8 ounce. And it's awesome sealer for anything outdoors. So you can do like your front bench, you can do flower pots. Yeah, anything outdoors would get the hard coat sealer. And then you just have to remember also, when the winter comes, you need to take those items and bring them, you know, inside your shed or put a cover over them. Hard coat isn't bulletproof, but it is a great sealer for outside. You just still have to take care of your pieces, just like you would any other product. But the front door is a fun, it's a fun project. I have heard of some who change their color on their door every year. So imagine the layers on that door. But how fun is that? How fun is that? I mean, life would be so boring without color, right? We need color, happy, cheery. We need to be the house in our neighborhood that brings cheer. Colorful pots out front, painted doors. Let's bring cheer to the neighborhood this year with ABC paints. Okay, so that was kind of fun. We'll do a couple layers on him. So that will dry. And then this has been sitting here for, I'm not sure how long actually, maybe 20 minutes. So it's definitely wet, but the top is starting to dry. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start mixing some black Cannonball Plaster in with it. And I'm actually curious to see how this is going to look. I kind of want to create some black and some gray tones. And if it gets a little too blended, I'll stop and then wait till it's completely dry. But let's go ahead and see what happens. So I'm just Cool. Okay, I'm just gonna do little pieces like this all over the pot, and then I'm gonna come back later and blend it in a bit more, okay? Dry for a bit, and then I might actually go up and grab my hair dryer and speed it up a bit here. Gotta get this done before the kids get home, you know. So, oh, I should do one more layer on this before I run too far away. Is the weather nice by you? It has been so beautiful around here. So beautiful. We've had blue sky, no wind, warm weather, and hopefully I didn't jinx us. My Christmas wreath is still on the front door though, so when do I take that down? April 1st? I don't want to be the one in the neighborhood to jinx the bad weather when you take down your winter wreath. So, have you already taken yours down? Is that something you do after Christmas? When do you take yours down? Oh dear. Okay, I'm going to go off and I'm going to grab the hair dryer just to speed up this process a little bit. Be right back. What I would like to do is put some Freedom Road Gray paint over top of this whole pot. You know, stand back, take a peek, see if I need it darker, see how the piece speaks to me. Have you heard people say that? I just have to see how the piece speaks to me. Well, you get what they're saying after you do a few. And right now I'm just basically like dry brushing it, and you can see the texture pop out, which I am loving. Love, love, love. I love texture. So basically dry brushing is when your brush has not been dipped into water and there's a little bit of paint on it and you're just lightly brushing it over top of a surface. It works awesome to dry brush over top of texture. You can dry brush on, any pieces that have detail. It's an awesome technique to not get full coverage, but to see the texture, to highlight the texture. Okay, I'm really, really, really loving this. Woo. Gonna do a couple more darker areas. Man, maybe I don't even want to sand it. You guys, I don't know if I'm gonna actually sand it. What do you think? So after thinking about my pot, I'm actually going to leave it how it is. I am super pumped with how it turned out. And I think it's actually going to match my rug in the living room. So I'm really happy how that turned out. So the other project we were working on in between was this candlestick. So let's just get this finished. I just got my cloth damp, and I'm going to do the wet distress just on random parts of this candlestick, just so that a little bit of that bottom layer will show through. If you're not familiar with what wet distressing is, it's when you get your cloth damp and you don't want it like dripping wet, but you do want it a little bit wet. And I just wrap around my finger, and then I just go around the edges and any areas that I might want to add just like a little bit of distressing. American Paint Companies is amazing for wet distress, and basically the water on top of the clay is just kind of reactivating the paint again, which is kind of an awesome feature. So even though the paint has completely dried, we're like reactivating it and moving it around again. There's many different ways that you can distress. You can use a palm sander, you know, a sheet of sandpaper. You can use a sponge, a wet cloth. If you've seen those buffing brushes, you can actually get those wet and hook them up to your drill, and that leaves a pretty awesome finish. So basically, you just get creative, right? So do you have any pots, flower pots that you can spice up this spring? Add this plaster and some texture. Whew. So fun. This plant is just sitting in my living room, so I'm not going to seal the top of the plaster. If you wanted it to have more of a shiny finish, you could put a layer of top coat over top of it, or you could even wax it. But I'm just gonna leave it. I kind of like that dull type finish. Okay, so this is looking pretty cute. And I'm going to just do top coat around the whole thing, and this project will be done. We'll just pour it into dish. So that was kind of fun. did 2 projects today this week. A nice smaller one to do while one was drying. Now that's what I call a good day. I would love to hear what projects you're painting. Just reply back to my emails at any time. Send me pictures. I love seeing what people create. Candlesticks, flower pots, whatever it is. I hope you make time to create. Awesome. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week.